On their wedding day, he told her, "I never loved you." 3 years later, they met again, and what she did left him utterly speechless. It was meant to be the happiest day of her life. The soft glow of candlelight cast a warm, ethereal light across the ballroom, illuminating the faces of 100 friends and family members who had gathered to witness the union of Sarah and Alex. Sarah, in her elegant ivory gown, felt a giddy warmth bubble in her chest. She watched Alex from across the room, his strong profile and easy smile the very definition of a perfect future. She had no idea that her perfect future was about to be shattered. As the final guests were seated and the string quartet played a gentle melody, Alex found his way to her. He took her hands, his touch cool against her own. His eyes, usually so full of warmth, were now distant and unnerving. A knot of unease formed in her stomach, but she brushed it away. "Wedding day jitters," she told herself. "Sarah," he said, his voice a low whisper that didn't quite reach her ears. "We need to talk. Right now." She laughed, a light, nervous sound. "Alex, what's wrong? The officiant is waiting." His grip tightened, his eyes scanning the room as if looking for an escape route. "Listen to me. I can't do this." Her smile faltered. "What are you talking about?" He pulled her into a small, secluded antechamber, away from prying eyes. The grand doors shut behind them, muffling the festive music. "I'm sorry," he began, but the apology lacked any real conviction. "I should have said this sooner, but I never loved you." The words hit her like a physical blow. The air rushed from her lungs, and for a moment she couldn't breathe. "What?" She managed to gasp, her voice a fragile whisper. "What are you saying?" "It was never real for me. The proposal, the planning, all of it. It was convenient. You're beautiful, kind, your family has influence. But it's not love. Not the kind I want." He looked at her, and for the first time, she saw a chilling coldness in his eyes. "There's a new opportunity for me. A startup in a different city. A chance to be truly successful. And I can't let you hold me back." He let go of her hands. The contact felt like a brand, a memory of a lie. "I'm leaving. Don't try to find me. Don't call." He turned and walked away, disappearing through a back door without a single glance back. He left her standing there, a ghost in her own wedding dress, surrounded by flowers, untouched champagne, and a love story that had never truly existed. The wedding was canceled, and the perfect future she had so carefully envisioned crumbled into dust. The guests were sent home, their confusion and pity a fresh layer of agony on top of her heartbreak. Sarah spent the next 3 years trying to pick up the pieces of a life that felt like a complete stranger's. 3 years passed, each one a different shade of pain and growth. Sarah had burned her wedding dress, not in a fit of rage, but in a quiet, solemn ceremony of letting go. She had taken all the money that was meant for their down payment on a house and invested it. She started with what she knew, graphic design, but her ambition quickly outgrew that. She learned code, she studied market trends, she built a small team from the ground up, and she poured every ounce of her broken heart into building a company. Pain was a powerful motivator, and humiliation a relentless fuel. The company, named Ethelred Innovations, after an obscure historical figure who was considered unready, but who had a quiet strength, grew from a small digital marketing firm into a formidable tech powerhouse. Sarah, once the heartbroken bride, was now a woman of quiet authority, sharp wit, and unshakable resolve. Her laughter was rarer, her smiles more genuine, and her gaze held a steely glint of a woman who had seen the worst and refused to be defeated by it. Meanwhile, Alex had found some success. The startup he had left Sarah for had a moderate acquisition, leaving him with a respectable nest egg and a position as a senior manager at a large established tech company named Innovate Global. He had dated, but nothing ever felt as comfortable or as promising as his life with Sarah had once been. He had convinced himself that leaving her was the right move, a necessary sacrifice for his career. But at night, a nagging guilt would sometimes creep in. a memory of her devastated face. He pushed it down, telling himself he had done them both a favor. She'd probably found a nice guy and had a family by now. She was likely happy, he hoped, somewhere in the back of his mind. One day, Alex's boss called a company-wide meeting. The atmosphere was buzzing with speculation. Innovate Global had been struggling with fresh ideas, and a major leadership shakeup was rumored. "I have some exciting news," the current CEO announced from the podium. "Our company has been acquired by a new innovative force in the industry. The leader of this company is taking over as our new CEO. I ask you all to give a warm welcome to the founder and CEO of Ethelred Innovations, Sarah Thompson." Alex felt the blood drain from his face. His heart hammered against his ribs, a frantic, trapped bird. A woman walked onto the stage, not the heartbroken girl he had left at the altar, but a vision of composed power. Her hair was cut into a sleek, professional bob. She wore a tailored suit that seemed to radiate authority, and her posture was as straight as a steel rod. Her eyes, once a sea of gentle warmth, were now an Arctic blue, cool and calculating. He had to be dreaming. It couldn't be her. Sarah Thompson, the girl he had left for a chance at a better career, was now his new boss, the one who held his professional future in the palm of her hand. Her speech was flawless. She spoke of strategic vision, market expansion, and a new era for the company. She never once looked in his direction, but Alex felt her presence like a physical force in the room. When the meeting ended, he lingered, wanting to run, but unable to move. A few days later, he received a calendar invite for a private meeting with the new CEO. The subject line was simply, "Introduction." His hands trembled as he walked to her office, the same office that his previous CEO had occupied. He knocked on the heavy oak door. "Come in," a familiar voice said. He entered, and she was there, sitting behind a large mahogany desk, her gaze fixed on him. A single small smile played on her lips, but it held no warmth. It was a smile of pure, unadulterated victory. "Alex," she said, her voice even and steady. "It's been a while." He swallowed hard, his throat dry. "Sarah, I can't believe it's you. You look incredible." "Don't," she said, holding up a hand to stop him. "Let's not do that. I know why you're here. You want to apologize, to explain, to maybe even try to rekindle something. But I have to be clear. We are not here to discuss the past. That version of me is gone. And frankly, I never want to see her again." He was speechless, his rehearsed apologies dying in his throat. She leaned forward, her voice dropping to a confidential tone. "I want to thank you, Alex." His brow furrowed in confusion. "Thank me? For what?" "For leaving me," she said, her Arctic eyes meeting his. "For telling me you never loved me. It was the best thing that ever happened to me." He stared at her, stunned. He had expected anger, tears, maybe even a plea. He had prepared for her pain, but not for her gratitude. "You shattered my world, Alex. You made me realize that my entire happiness was tied to a man who saw me as a convenience. You humiliated me in front of everyone I cared about. The pain was unbearable. But that pain, it was a gift. It forced me to look at myself and realize that I was stronger than I ever thought possible. It gave me the fire to build something of my own, something real and lasting, something that no one, especially not you, could ever take away from me." She stood up and walked to the window, looking out at the sprawling cityscape that was now under her command. "So, thank you," she repeated, her voice now cold and final. "You taught me a lesson I desperately needed to learn. You showed me that a man's love isn't the key to a woman's success. My own ambition and resolve are. Now, let's talk about your department's new quarterly projections. I'm going to need them on my desk by tomorrow morning." She turned back to face him, her expression a blank slate of professionalism. Alex, the man who had abandoned her, was now just another employee. He looked at her, truly looked at her, and saw not the broken girl he'd left behind, but a powerful woman forged in the fire of his betrayal. He had no words, no defense, no apology. He was utterly, completely speechless.